Hello, my fellow members of Boston Sports Nation. Welcome to another edition of the Rooters Podcast. It is episode 15, the January the 15th of 2026 episode. I am your host, Tom O'Shea. All right, clean sweep tonight. Looked like one of them was going to be one of those. We had comebacks, we had masterclass performances, we had a jersey retirement ceremony. And we also saw a pretty neat stat. Let's get into it. All right. Talk about the Celtics game. All right. It looks like early on, it looked like, okay, it's going to be one of those nights. Here we go. 3 straight losses in a row for your Boston Celtics, but the bench specific, mainly Mr. Anthony Simons, said, "Not so fast, everyone. I'll put the team on my back coming off the bench and we'll coming back and winning this game." And so they did. And Anthony Simons, he basically had a masterclass game. He led the Celtics and the rest of the bench and saved the Celtics from almost surely defeat as they come back and win this one 119 to 114. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, basically, I mean, early on, I was looking at the score. I didn't watch the entirety of the game. I basically kind of dozed off and stuff like that. First half, I was kind of glad I kind of pretty much missed the entirety of that. Good that I came back and was awake when they came back and won, especially in the fourth quarter. Made that somewhat rally to beat the Miami Heat. So anyway, so at one point it was like 27-9 at one point in the first quarter. Going to be winning 2 on the road so far because as I said, Wednesday night they dropped one to or what? Wednesday night? Tuesday night, Monday night they dropped one to the Indiana Pacers in Indianapolis. So that wasn't great, but yeah. Or as I said, Anthony Simons led in points with 39, so he had a pretty masterclass game. Rebounds, however, it was Anita's Keita with 9. But let's see. And then assists, it was Peyton Pritchard with 8. Steals, it was a 5-way tie between Hauser, Keita, Pritchard, Anthony Simons, and Luka Garza with 1. And then blocks, it was Derek White with 2. So nice. All right, so field goal percent or field goals, we were 41 of 91, so 45.1. Yeah, still not too great, but I mean, still ended up getting it done at the end. 13 of 39 from 3-point land, 33.3 percentage wise, and then free throws like 24 of 25, so 96%. So pretty much masterclass game. As I said, Anthony Simons basically came off the bench. Basically, as I said, 39 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and no blocks. And as I said, 13 of 28 from field goal range, 7 of 16 from 3-point land. So, yeah, 6 and 6 from free throws. All right, so nice. Pretty nice game. And you come into the season, you're thinking, all right, so Anthony Simons, he probably might not be here for long. He might not be the point guard option or something like that, and gets kind of demoted to the bench. He kind of has struggles. And then so far, I mean, in this game, at least, he shows like, hey, I still kind of belong here. I could be a key piece of this season. Yeah. Just like one of those games, you just had to feel good for the dude. You literally had to feel good for the dude after this game. Because he literally basically carried the team on his back and basically saved them from potentially losing 3 straight and not losing 3 straight, humiliating getting lost 3 straight by a pretty. Hold on, how good are the Miami Heat? Okay, so 21 of 20. All right, so that ain't too bad. That's okay wise. 8th in the Eastern Conference, so they're like one of those play-in teams right now. So, yeah. All right. So here we go. So here is our record after tonight's game, 25 of 25. We are literally in the third spot in the Eastern Conference right now, behind the New York Knicks and the East leading Detroit Pistons, who we got to play later on in a few days. Where we are in the division, second. I mean, figures, yeah. Well, actually, kind of tied. If you look at it, tied for first in the division right now. So kind of, if you think about it now tied for second in the Eastern Conference right now. If you think about it, because the Knicks have a 25 a 20 or 25 and 15 record, as we do. All right. Okay. That's it on the Celtics. I did hear some news or some rumor that Jaren Jackson Jr. might be a trade option for us. I wouldn't hate that from the Memphis Grizzlies. That wouldn't be a bad trade. But anyway, all right. So next time the Celtics play again is Saturday, 6:30 p.m. against the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. All right. So that's it for that. And then to kind of wrap up the evening, the Bruins did play tonight at home against the Seattle Kraken, and also too, it was also Zdeno Chara, my favorite player when he was a Bruin growing up, part of the 2011 squad that won the Stanley Cup. So his jersey got retired tonight, his 33 jersey. So nobody ever again will wear number 33 with the Bruins, at least for the time being. But for right now, it looks like never again will wear number 33. All right. But the game wise, Bruins, pretty good. Pretty good. They keep on rolling. It did kind of get a little close towards the end, but in the end, the Bruins were able to hold on. And David Pastrnak had a little stat that we'll also go over too. That's pretty cool and neat. But in the end, Bruins have won 5 straight in a row. They are now actually, I'm bumbling my words. They are now 27, or now second, or in the 8th seed or second seed, wild card seed in the Eastern Conference right now, as they win 4-2 against the Kraken. All right, let's get into it. All right, so to begin with the game, so in the first period, Matarata Kuznetsov basically gets the scoring going like literally 54 seconds into the game as he scores a goal, assisted by a Mr. Charlie McAvoy to make it 1-0 Bruins. And then 3 minutes and 45 seconds into the game, Victor Arvidsson gets his 10th goal of the season on an assist from Pablo Zacha and Casey Mittelstadt to make it 2-0 Bruins. But then Chandler Stevenson with a power play goal makes it a 1-goal game with 7 minutes and 29 seconds as he scores one for the Kraken. That ends the second period. But then Marcus Selleck gets his 8th goal of the season, a shorthanded goal unassisted to make it 3-1 Bruins with literally 4 minutes and 44 seconds in the second period. But then Seattle does get that goal right back as they make it a 1-goal game. Eli Torvosen, his 9th goal of the season with 12 minutes and 27 seconds into the second period. Then with literally 15 seconds to go, an empty net goal situation, and David Pastrnak basically nets it home, power play, empty netter, assisted by Morgan Geekie and Charlie McAvoy. That is his 20th goal of the year. I'm going to tell you, after we go over these stats real quick, why that's so important. All right. Bruins win this one 4-2. That's what your final score stands. All right. Shots on goal. Kraken did beat us by 28 to 24. Let's see. Power play 50-50. So we were 1 of 2, and then they were 2 of 4. Penalty minutes, we led that one, unfortunately, 13-9. And then, that sounds about it. Let's see, goalie-wise, it looks like it was Jeremy Swayman, and he had 20 saves for the evening, so pretty nice. Oh, whoops, this is the wrong person. Whoops. All right, so 26. All right, never mind. I was looking at Seattle's goals. All right, 26 saves for Mr. Jeremy Swayman. Apologies for that. I was just looking at that like, huh? Joey Dakar plays for us? And I thought, oh wait, whoops, I'm on the yeah. All right, so anyway, back to David Pastrnak's stats. So with his nice little stat that he did, or his 20th goal, he is now. Oh, I gotta pull it up. All right, so he has had 10 seasons. I think this is like 10 straight too. I could be legit wrong about this, but I believe it is 10 straight season in a row where he has had 20 or more goals in a season. So that's kind of an interesting little stat. All right. So yeah, he becomes the fourth player in Bruins history with 10 consecutive seasons with 20 goals or more. He joins Johnny Buchek of the Big Bad Bruins, who had 16. And both former teammates Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand, who both had 14, and then Rick Middleton, who also had 10 straight seasons. So this is basically like 10 consecutive seasons or more in a row with 20 goal seasons. So nice. This is pretty neat. That's kind of a neat little interesting little stat. Literally 16 season Johnny Buchek had 10 or 20 or more goals in a season. 16 straight season. That is just nuts. Yep. And former buddies or former teammates of his, Bergeron and Marshy. So nice. 14 straight for them. Man. That is just, yeah, that's an interesting stat. Yeah, that's what I mean. That this man has to be a Bruin for life. He cannot go anywhere else. Which doesn't really mean too much. I mean, seriously, there are people on 98.5 The Sports Hub who really want him gone for some reason. Oh, I won't name these people. Tony Maserati and Mike Phillips. Yeah, you see what I just did there? Yeah. What? Yeah, as in the Two Stooges. Yeah. All right. And why did it just do that? Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, I'm talking to myself too. All right. Anywho, what else? All right. So as I said, back to the Bruins game. Oh, let's actually talk about Zdeno Chara. So after so many seasons with the Bruins, he won a cup with them. He should have won potentially, maybe at least 2. Maybe if we didn't screw the pooch with the St. Louis Blues. Okay, where? Here we are. All right. So I'm going to pull up something. So he joins the company of. He has joined the company. Hold on. Retired numbers. Here we are. All right. So he joins the company of retired numbers for the Bruins of Eddie Shore, number 2, defenseman. Lionel Hitchman, defenseman, number 3. Number 4, the GOAT, in my opinion, Bobby Orr, defenseman. Number 5, power forward and defenseman, Dick Clapper. Number 7, center, Phil Esposito. Number 8, Cam Neely, right winger. Number 9, Johnny Buchek, we just mentioned him, left winger. Number 15, Milt Schmidt, center. Number 16, Rick Milton, we also mentioned him too, right winger. Number 22, Willie O'Reed, right winger, and also the first black NHL player in NHL or hockey history, or first player in NHL history that was not, or basically not Caucasian or black, or a black. I can't talk. All right, the first black hockey player in NHL history is what I'm trying to say. Willie O'Reed. Yeah. All right. And then number 24, Terry O'Reilly, right winger. And then number 33, as I said, or Zdeno Chara, defenseman. Oh yeah, number 77, Ray Bork, defenseman. All right. Yeah, can't leave out Borky. Yeah, why did I just call him that? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So pretty good company. Yeah, nice. Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah. I wasn't able to watch the ceremony. I was trying to do two games at once. I was going to have the Bruins game on my laptop, which we're recording this episode now, and then have the Celtics game on the actual TV. It didn't really work that way, so I had to bail on the Bruins game, which, yeah. And then had to watch Celtics game, which wasn't really a bad option either. I mean, at the end, it wasn't. Yeah. So after tonight's game, the Bruins have won 5 straight. They're now 27, 19, and 2. 27 wins, 19 losses, and 2 overtime losses. They have 56 points in the season, and they are now, kind of, if you think on points wise, technically tied with the Buffalo Sabres for that first wild card seed in the Eastern Conference right now. So right now, the playoffs were to end today. They would be in the playoffs right now as the 8th seed. Currently, right now, because they're 5th in the division right now, behind also, the Buffalo Sabres. And right now in the Atlantic Division, it is the Tampa Bay Lightning leading the way. All right. So that is it. All right, next game for the Bruins will be on Saturday against the Chicago Blackhawks in Chicago. I will not be watching that game, and the reason why, we're going to go to that game. Yep, I'm meeting up with a former ex-college baseball buddy of mine from my Harlan days. He lives up there. Apparently, the business he works for actually gives him Bulls and Blackhawks tickets. So I'm actually going to go up to the game. That's basically a weekend plan of mine. So for the first time in the show's history, we're going to have an actual boots on the ground game, something or an episode kind of recap in a way. So yeah, so nice. Yeah, we might have to make a little like stat or tally or something like that. Yeah, so we're like or 1 for 1 or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Let's keep a win-loss record for how many times we go to these games. Yeah, it should be fun. Yeah. Very, very fun. All right. So nothing going on tomorrow. No games. As I said, no games. Patriots don't play again until Sunday. And oh, by the way, it looks like that injured player tag or jersey that Christian Gonzalez was wearing during practice. He is now. It looks like they taken him off, or taken that off him. So it looks like he is safe to practice. All right, so that's good. We need him on defense. So like that on Sunday. Yeah. What I'm hearing about this Texans defense, they're kind of somewhat scary. Yeah, like don't count them out. Yeah. Yeah, really. I feel like their offense doesn't sound like they're really a show either, but that's their thing. Their defense could be suffocating, which means we got to be like Drake May's got to have a game. Our offense has to somewhat wake up. They can't be doing a game like they did the Chargers. Even though we did win that game, we can't have a game like that. The Texans will make us pay if that's the case. All right. All right. So, and no Red Sox news, or at least if news does break tomorrow, maybe another signing, maybe a trade. We don't know. Heck, we were supposed to take off tomorrow, but then the Ranger Suarez signing happened, and we decided, you know what, hop on. Let's talk about it. All right. So as kind of we were going to do on Wednesday, we're probably going to do no show tomorrow and maybe hop back on Saturday. That seems sad. So if that's the case, just to be safe, let's talk about Saturday's games. All right. The Celtics play, as I said, against the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta, and that will be a 6:30 tip-off time, 7:30 Eastern time, whatever times you live in. We do have listeners from around the world. Just make sure what time it is in your area, and tune in. All right. Okay, and then the Bruins, as I said, they play on Saturday in Chicago against the Blackhawks. That'll be a 7 o'clock puck drop, or 8 p.m. Eastern time, whatever time zone you live in the world, as I said. Check what time it is in your time zone, and tune in. All right. And as I said, we'll do somewhat of a boots on the ground episode in our hotel. Yep, we're going to stay in another hotel room again. You know, we're also since we're also over there, and I'm not really going to leave or leave back home until like maybe 5 o'clock on Sunday evening. It looks like Celtic are playing their first round of the Scottish Cup. Maybe I might pop in the old Ebony and watch the match before I have to leave home. Maybe, yeah. Heck, we could use that as our April match. Our April match, yeah. Because since April might be busy for me for normal community high school baseball and stuff like that, that might be a busy time for me. So yeah, might as well have that as our April or our match that we would go up in April. But anyway, yeah. All right. All right, enough of that. Let's call it a night. Let's get ready, and then we'll talk to you on Saturday. All right. Banyana.